Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Stack Sats Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. Today's episode 291. Wow, pretty cool. Episode 291, and we're here for another stack. Yeah. Satwise Jenks in the house. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Satwise. Also, round of applause from the live studio audience for Mr. McLovin. What up, McLovin? Good to see you in here. Hope all is well. Today, we're going to do what we always do, stack some sats, and answer the question, when to buy and when to sell Bitcoin. Okay. We're going to answer that during the second segment of the show that we like to call the Why We Stack segment. Okay. But first, let's kick things off with the sat strength. Ooh. Actually, here's the sat strength. Found it. There it is. Today, the price of Bitcoin is $58,711.50. Is that right? 58? We're in the 60s. Huh, so let me refresh this. This might be off. Refreshing. There we go. $60,181.40. Carlos Jaramillo in the house. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Carlos. Also, round of applause for Leonard. What up, Leonard? Okay, at the current price of Bitcoin, you can buy 1,661 Satoshis for a single dollar. What the heck is a Satoshi? A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents, a Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. If you can accumulate 100 million Satoshis, you in essence have a whole Bitcoin. That should be your goal before it becomes unattainable for us mortals, for us regular people with regular jobs. Okay? All right. Let's say you're walking down the street minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day you could have 16.61 Satoshis for that penny. And that is the sat strength. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is well. Carlos says DCA to BTC or BTC to 258K. Or DCA or BTC to 58K. I got it. BTC to 58K. I don't know. And I don't really care. Here's what's happening. Here's the plan. Let's jump into Why We Stack. Here we go. Why We Stack. When to buy and sell Bitcoin. That's coming up right now. I'm going to make this short and sweet and to the point. When should you buy Bitcoin? Always. When should you sell Bitcoin? Never. That's it. Simple as that. Stacking and chilling, same as always. That's right, McLovin. That's right. Stacking and chilling, same as always. Since the price pumped a little bit, back up to 60, our numbers should look nicer today. And we're also actually going to look into the numbers for the 21 Moto project. It's my effort to orange pill the world continues by saving some gas money by riding a motorcycle instead of driving my truck. And I made a whole channel about it, and with the idea that hopefully that gets people interested in the motorcycle, and in that process they also become exposed to Bitcoin and the savings aspect of it. Okay, so I made a cool spreadsheet. You guys know how I like to make spreadsheets. I made a cool spreadsheet of the mileage and the savings I'm getting on the bike, and then I'm associating it with the mileage, and as the price of Bitcoin goes up, I need less and less miles to break even on the bike. So anyway, we'll cover that later on today. But to answer the main question of the show is when to buy and sell Bitcoin. You buy it always and you sell it never. That's it. That's the basics, right? Yeah, there will be exceptions to that where you might need to sell a little bit of your Bitcoin to do whatever emergency that comes up or whatever, right? And hey, it's up to each individual person. That's up to you, right? But just know that when you sell your Bitcoin, the trend is that it's going to continue to get more expensive, so you won't be able to buy as much Bitcoin as before. Yeah, there's people that are into spend and replace. I get it. You're holding the Bitcoin. If you need to spend it, you spend it, but then you replace it. That's cool. I'm fine with that, right? To each his own. But in general, your long-term savings should be saved and not sold, right? And so it's always a good time to buy if you believe that the price of Bitcoin will continue to go up, and it will, because the debasement continues to happen, right? Doesn't matter who gets in office or what the interest rate is. There's still lending going out. There's still money being created. So, yeah, buy and hodl. That's it. There's no sell. All right. And to make it short and sweet, why do we save in Bitcoin? Because saving in Bitcoin is like going back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold the Bitcoin that represents those hours. Simple. That's it. That's why we stack. Okay? That's why we stack. All right. So that said, that wraps up why we stack. And we're already at halftime. It's only 8 minutes in. Damn, I'm going fast. So about 8 minutes in. Anybody have any questions? Anything you want to share? Please do type it in the chat. If you're new here and you want to follow the journey of just a regular dude stacking sats to see and to show my family and my friends that little by little, a little Bitcoin savings can go a long way. And actually, in the long run, it's an example that's performing better than most assets you can invest in. Okay, so let's jump into the stack recap to show our proof of stack, to show our proof of the work we've been doing here for over a year. Okay, here we go. Stack recap. All right, so here it is. If you're new to the show, what up, Carl? Sell? I never, sir. What up, Carl? Good to see you in here. Round of applause from our live studio audience for Carl. Okay, so it looks like for 2024, we're up about 7%. We're holding about 9.7 million Satoshis. Pretty good. Just in 2024. Our average buy price is $59,865 for 2024. And the current price is $60,117. So that means that today we're only going to buy a $20 stack. So $20, we're going to buy $20 worth of Bitcoin today. But let's keep doing the stack recap, okay? Currently, we're holding 0.29147729 Bitcoin. Getting closer and closer to 0.3 Bitcoin. And these are all the purchases we've done on the show here along the span of our what? 291 episodes so far. Okay. So slow and steady, stacking. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy to see that. It's crazy. So not all of this Bitcoin was accumulated during our DCA stack. Some of it was accumulated from me selling things out of my garage and stacking the money immediately. Right? We're up on everything except for these gloves. I sold them for $40. They're worth $35 now. Oh, sorry. I sold them for $40. Bought 58,309 Satoshis, and those Satoshis are currently worth $35. But I don't care. I'd rather have the Satoshis than the dollars. Okay. Everything else is already in the positive for now. This sewing machine that I sold for $80, I got 147,864 Satoshis. Those Satoshis are currently worth about $88. Okay. So slow and steady. Our operation flipping sats is becoming more and more successful. And then here's the numbers for this one hurts. We did the 100 Bitcoin 100 stacks challenge. 100 days of saving in Bitcoin, 1 through 100, putting in about $10 minimum and investing the amount of dollars that the number signifies. So on the 61st day, we can invest $61 into Bitcoin, save $61 into Bitcoin. And we're down hard on that because we're doing this experiment back when it was like in the 70s. So we're still down on that stack about 10.59%. But again, I would rather have the Satoshis. Okay, it's 7.784 million Satoshis from that stack. And those are the numbers that put together this full 0.29147729 Bitcoin holding for the Stack Sats show. Slow and steady. I know it's slow and steady, but I think the show has accumulated more Bitcoin than the average person. So our current Bitcoin holdings, is that it? What is this? N2. Yeah. Our current Bitcoin holdings for the show are about 17,522. Our current Bitcoin holdings for the show are worth about $17,522. And that's actually kind of wild because most people don't even have $1,000 saved for emergencies. So that is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. All right, let's get into numbers for this Honda Grom and the 21 Moto website or channel. I figured out a way to make the spreadsheet more fun, and I put the if we're saving 21 cents per mile every time I ride the Grom instead of drive my truck, those savings I'm putting them right into Bitcoin. So these are the different dates that I've ridden the bike and the different miles I put on it. And as I invest the savings, which are here, from those rides, from not taking the truck at a rate of 21 cents per mile, I'm investing that right into Bitcoin and buying Satoshis, right? Right at the end of the ride, I check my mileage and I multiply it times 0.21 and I save that much into Bitcoin. And eventually, once I ride the Grom for 26,865 miles, I would have, in essence, broken even. The bike basically paid for itself by saving me 21 cents per mile that I'm not spending by driving my bigger vehicle. Okay, so that's how it works. So the way I did I did this formula here is I try to make it so that as the price of Bitcoin fluctuates up or down, my break-even mileage in terms of dollars stays the same, 26,865 miles. But in terms of my Bitcoin savings, because of the stack I'm making with the mileage saved, will fluctuate. So what I'm hoping to see in the future, as I pay this off, is that the number of miles to break even starts to go down relative to the number of miles that I've actually done. So we should be able to break even in less miles as the price of Bitcoin goes up. Anyway, so that's the spreadsheet I'm going to share with the people that are watching that channel. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. So that was it. Oh, let's see. Oh, can you imagine? That'd be awesome. Soon you'll be able to borrow against Bitcoin at prime rate like millions do to avoid paying taxes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's my plan. That's what I'm hoping for too, Satwise. That's what I'm hoping to do that as well, right? Because debt is not taxable. Your interest on your debt is taxable to the person you're paying interest, but your actual debt is not taxable. Yeah. BRAP to BTC. What? Dang, Carl, that's a good one. Round of applause and a gong from the live studio audience. BRAP to BTC. Check out that channel, guys, if you want to go and subscribe to that. It's 21moto.com. Yeah. https://21moto.com. That'll take you to a YouTube page. Go subscribe. Okay. What else do we have? That's it, right? We know how much money we're going to buy. We know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy. We went through all the spreadsheets. Let's check real quick if maybe the government fixed the problem and stopped inflating the money. Let's check real quick. Nope. They're still doing it. They're still doing it. I'm sorry, guys. The thesis continues. Nothing has changed. Even with the interest rate going up or down, or whoever gets elected, it doesn't matter. We are still getting more and more in debt. Okay? We're getting closer and closer to 35.5 trillion. Okay? So yeah, just had to check. I had to check. I had to check. All right. Now that we know how much Bitcoin we're gonna buy, there's nothing else left to do, but it's time to blow your eardrums and stack some sats. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. Oh yeah, for today's stack, let's check if I'm off the naughty list over at what's it called? Over at Strike. Let's see. Nope, we're still on the naughty list. Dang it! No worries, no worries. I got somewhere where I'm gonna buy. I just can't show it on the screen. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? Stacking too hard, guys. Stacking to the limit. Stacking to the limit. Go here. Here. Refresh this page. Okay, there it is. Refreshed it. All right, we're buying $20 worth of Bitcoin at $60,290. $20 please. $20 worth of Bitcoin going in. Okay, my trade is in. Will it process? 290. 290. Look at what? Maybe. Alright, and there we go. Let me hit that gong. And now blow out your eardrums. All right. I'm gonna put the stats for this latest purchase on the spreadsheet, and I'll show you guys the spreadsheet while I'm doing it. But before we do that, let's kick off the track. That means we've stacked successfully, and it's time to chill. Here we go. So this is. I'm gonna convert this to. Give me a second. There it is. Here. What up, Garrett? Round of applause from the live studio audience for Garrett. Sat-wise, 100%, 0% income tax on borrowed money. Exactly. Todd in the house. What up, Todd? Good to see you in here as well. Guys, it might seem like it's not a big deal to have 8 people in the live stream, but to me, it's a huge deal. Guys, we started from 0, okay? It was just Leonard and me staring at each other awkwardly in the face, okay? And then people started showing up. I love it. Invite your friends, okay? We keep it lighthearted, we keep it fun, and we just stack, right? Come here for additional motivation to continue to stack, you know? Come here because you know that I understand what's going on, and we're in the same boat, and I stack as hard as I can, just like I know you stack as hard as you can, and nobody's gonna tell you you're crazy for stacking Bitcoin here, okay? I'm not gonna tell you you're nuts for saving your wealth and increasing your purchasing power with Bitcoin. No, I'm not gonna tell you that stuff. I'm gonna tell you you're doing the right thing. All right, here we go. All right, there it is. The stack is an additional 33,056 Satoshis were added to the stack. Let's add it to the main spreadsheet for the whole lifespan of the show. The proof of stack sheet. There it is. Proof of stack. Most of you guys in here have witnessed this from the beginning. This is not a fake sheet. We've done a buy on the show live most Monday through Friday since May 22nd, 2023. I took a week off and I took a couple of days off, but all the stacks have been tracked. And today we are at 0.2918078 Bitcoin. Just like that. And feels good. Feels good. It's pretty wild. Dang. It's crazy. It's crazy. Slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about this this chart that Carlos put up. It's pretty interesting. It's a little scary too. Let me put this. Let me get this Q&A section up. There it is. It's about power law, and if the power law actually works, that you might not be able to stack. You might not ever be able to get to 1 Bitcoin in the near future. And it's got a range of how much you're stacking per month or per. I think it's per month, right? How much you're DCAing, and if the power law holds true, how much Bitcoin you'll be able to actually hold, even if you continue to make that same amount of purchase every you're DCAing, right? So it's a little crazy the way it looks, but like I've never thought about it that way, and I don't know. I just think it's something that we should check out, even if it's just for entertainment purposes. I don't believe in the power law. Bitcoin's just gonna do whatever Bitcoin's gonna do. But if it holds true, it's pretty scary if you're not already at 1 Bitcoin. Carlos Alamino says 1 BTC is already impossible for an average Ecuadorian. That's true. That's true. That's crazy though, right? And 1 BTC will become impossible for an average citizen of the US too, eventually, right? So when we talk about when to buy Bitcoin and when to sell Bitcoin, shoot, always buy Bitcoin, never sell it, because you'll never be able to buy the same amount of Bitcoin at the current price of today. Yeah, you might be able to buy it at the current price of today tomorrow, maybe in a week after you go back to 58K and up to 61 and down back to 58K. Yeah, you might be able to buy it the same amount of Bitcoin for the next month or two. But eventually it's gonna tear up. The bull run is gonna go into full effect, and then you won't be able to buy the same amount of Bitcoin, right? Part of me is how can you say this? Part of me is happy that we've been crab walking the whole time since the ETFs. Even a little before the ETF approval, we've been kind of like crabbing, right? 58K range. But it's allowed us to stack at pretty decent prices if you think of it in the long term, right? Like we've been able to our DCA average is getting lower and lower and lower relative to our whole holdings, right? So let's see. Let me see what it looks like for our average for maybe not our average for the past 2 years, but still, the average of the DCAs that we've been doing this past month or two is going to hold us closer to 58K as the average buy-in when the price goes up, right? So I don't know. It just I think of it as more of a opportunity that we've had for the past couple months to really stack at a cheaper rate. McLovin says 0.1 BTC will probably become the goal for many instead of a whole coin. That's crazy, but I totally get it. How difficult it's going to become, right? We're doing a thought experiment with one of my kids on the way to school yesterday, I think, and we're talking just about inflation and how it works, and how saving in Bitcoin does a lot for you. And I had him. He had a calculator up, and we're doing calculations on, let's say 100. I think we said like we did the average income for somebody in a year. Could be I think it was like 60,000 or 50,000 a year in the US. Sorry. And then we did, okay, that person works for 30 years. We just threw out a number. It could be like 50 years really, but let's say 30 years. And that person ends up making about, I think it was like 100. I think it was like 1.8 million. And then from there, you pay taxes, right? So your actual take home on that situation was like something like 1.3 million or something like that for after working for 30 years, making about 60,000 a year. And then we factored out like the cost of living, like the stuff you would pay for, like, and on average, I think, I don't know, we just ballparked it to like about 30 or 40% of your salary goes towards like food and living and all that stuff, right? And then we'll say that you're like saving everything else. You're saving 60% of that salary. It put us somewhere like around $805,000 of savings after that, after 30 years. After 30 years of work, right? And my math is off. It was being done by my son while we're in the car, and I'm kind of talking to him. Okay, so don't quote any of these numbers. It's just an idea. So we took those savings, those 30 years worth of savings, $805,000, and we put it in the calculator. And we put, okay, you're losing 0.09. Well, multiply it times 0.09 because you're losing about 9 or 8% of that to inflation, your purchasing power, right? And 5 years in, we had to stop doing the calculation because 5 years in, you had lost like close to half of that value. Right? You're in the $500,000 from $805,000 savings. Right? And then we redo the calculations and we say, okay, instead of saving that money in the bank, just holding it, we put that money in the Bitcoin, and we use that as a way to figure out what the value of that savings will be in the future. And then it becomes like blatantly obvious that like you're way better off saving it in Bitcoin, right? But sometimes you got to break things down like that to make it real simple, so that you can really see the effects. After a couple of years of just being in Bitcoin, yeah, you're gonna go through a couple cycles where you might go negative for like a year or so, right? Or close to negative for a year, but just hold on and you'll be fine if you can hold on for 4 years or more, right? I think for me, I can't remember exactly when I started stacking. Might have been 2022, maybe 2021. It was towards the I can't remember if Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin hadn't topped yet. Bitcoin hadn't gone to 69,000 yet. It was a little bit before Bitcoin went to 69,000. I just kept buying, and I rode it all the way down. It sucked, right? So this is gonna be my first, I guess, full cycle through the Bitcoin, halving, I guess, and my first full 4-year cycle. I think I started right as the bear market was starting. It's crazy to think that. I think your volume might be. Oh, I think my volume might need some adjusting. Oh shoot. Like, there. Sorry, that sucks. Hope that's better. Let's see. Hard Huddle says, do you ever listen to your own podcast in your car? I do sometimes, but I haven't checked it in a long time. I think your volume might need some adjusting up. Okay, cool. That's actually a good point. I need to do it. I need to check that in a different. I usually just listen to the computer, and I trust the little mixer thing here, but makes sense. Let's adjust it up a little bit anyway. Let's see here. Actually, here. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. That's not it. This one. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Nope. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Okay, that should work. I think actually it should be here. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. All right. It feels super loud. Hang on. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. All right. Yeah, I will listen to my show and see if I need to work on the audio. Also, I'll probably record myself and listen back, see what the levels are like. Because I did notice that the other day that my volume might be lower than the average YouTube video. Check 1 2. All right, I bumped it up pretty close to red. I don't want to overdo it. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. All right, this is good. This high as I'll go for now. and we'll play it back and see how it sounds after the show is done. Kind of crazy to think that only 210 million people could ever own 0.1 Bitcoin if all BTC were mined and eventually evenly distributed, and none were lost. Garrett, it was low for me yesterday, but I thought it was. Oh, okay. It's probably me, Garrett. Okay, that's cool. Okay, I have some experimenting to do then tonight and figure it out by tomorrow's show. Interesting. It's crazy. Now I'm like intrigued. Advanced audio properties. Here we go. How can I increase the volume? Can I? I'm distracted now. Sorry. Audio mixer. System. Huh. Check 1 2. Anyway, I'll play with it offline and I'll figure it out. It might make sense to get a bit. It might make sense to get a bit of it then, McLevin. That's nice. I saw that. I see what you're doing there, Carlos. If enough people think like you, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Dang, you got straight up Satoshi, dude. You got Satoshi quoted. All right, boys. I will deal with my audio issues and have it locked in for tomorrow's show. Let's put on the music and wrap this thing up. Let's see. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to today's show. We stacked, we laughed, we almost cried. Long story short, keep stacking and hodling and no selling. Okay? I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Later, guys.